Good day, everyone. This is NSC 307, Human Nutrition, and I would be your tutor for this course. And I am Motola Bakri. And this is the course description. Look through and get acquainted with what is there. And for our learning outcomes, this is what we'll be looking at. So, in order to achieve the best in this class. But before we start properly, these are my ground rules: no lateness to class, respect each other. Always take notes in class. Feel free to ask questions anytime, any day, and no chorus responses in my class. Here are the course contents. Now we are going into this in this topic proper. Nutrition as a science. Now, this is the introductory part. Okay, nutrition is a science that studies the interaction between living organisms and the nutrients in food. It also involves the biochemical, the physiological, and the social factors that influences dietary habits and the effect of food on overall health. Nutrition is also a disciplinary science that also exposes us to the knowledge from biology, chemistry, medicine, and so on, and also the important roles and understanding how these nutrients are also a support to our health and also the prevention of diseases. We know that health is the total well-being of a person in good condition. And in order to prevent diseases, there are some things we need to look out for. Now let's know, what is nutrition. Nutrition is the science of food, the nutrients it contains, and how the body uses these nutrients to maintain life and promote health. Now, we'll be looking at the scientific basis of nutrition. This is a driven force by research and evidence. Its development as a science involves a systematic investigation into how different nutrients influences health and diseases. So we'll be looking at the scientific method of nutrition. We have observations, hypothesis formation, experimentation. We have analysis. We have the peer review and publications. For observation is more about something you see, something you notice in an environment. Hypothesis is more like a prediction, which most of the times it comes with the word if. Okay, hypothesis is more like a prediction. Now, experimentation has to do with what you experiment on those dietary products that would have been tested before consumption. Then we go into the analysis. What are the outcomes of this scientific research or discoveries from all these dietary foods, nutrition, and its effect on health generally? Now we'll be looking at the types of nutrition research. We have the clinical trial, which is all about giving specific diets or supplements to observe health outcome. Yes, there are persons that when they are clinically tested or clinically on trial, they are given some certain food to test how effective the nutrient is going to be for them. Now, we also look at the epidemiology studies, observational studies that assesses the relationship between dietary pattern, the health outcome in large populations. Then we look at also the laboratory studies, where we have the animal models or cell-based experiences. At these cases, you see where lab rats are being used as laboratory studies for all these things. They are injected all these nutrients in order to see the outcome of these nutrients. So now we'll be looking at the major fields in nutrition science. Now, nutritional biochemistry is one of the things we'll be looking out for. Then we'll look at the clinical nutrition, we'll look at the public health nutrition, and we'll look at the nutrigenomics of nutritional science. Now, let's focus on the nutritional biochemistry. This basically is all about the cellular level and also investigate metabolic pathways involving carbohydrates, proteins, generally the classes of food. So for the clinical nutrition, this deals with preventing, diagnosing, and managing diseases It also involves development of dietary plans for individuals with health conditions. And when we say health conditions, I'll be talking about things like diabetics, heart disease, or malnutrition because of the bad eating habits. Now, public health nutrition. This is involving a health dietary habit across the population. And at the same time, what we look out for, the aim is to prevent nutritional related diseases by developing public health policies and awareness, okay, and nutritional guidelines on how to consume this food, malnutrition, and dietary inequalities. Now, for the nutrigenomics, this studies is between the nutrients and the consumptions. Now, exploring how individuals' genetic variations affect nutrients is another angle at which we need to look out for, because the more the consumption of the wrong parts of dietary or nutritional food, the more damage it is, especially to those who have diabetics, who have heart disease and the rest. They are being given a specific kind of food to eat. They don't eat just anything, and they are being monitored because of the health condition that they are going through. So, in summary, nutrition is, as a science, studies interaction between food, nutrients, and the human body. It's also a way to examine how nutrients, and when I say nutrients, I'm talking about the six classes of food, which we have the carbohydrate, the proteins, and the likes, how they are being utilized for energy, for growth, and then overall health. And when I say for energy, for growth, what I am trying to explain here is that there is a breakdown of all this food, all these classes of food, where we have carbohydrate, the end product of carbohydrates, where we have the end product for protein and the likes. So we know the ones that are body building food, we know the ones that are energy giving and the likes. So that is exactly what this nutrition class is all about. And then there are different fields in nutrition science, as explained earlier to you, and which I was talking about, understanding the role of diet in promoting health and preventing diseases, and also managing medical conditions. So, in nutrition science, also explores dietary guidelines, public intervention, which I have already said earlier in this class. So, um, finally, in application to this, it involves the provision of the food choices that we make, the knowledge we know about the food that we consume, and its effect on chronic disease as overall. So I will be seeing you in my next class. Have a good day.